Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
Doing all right, Danny. I'm excited to be here. Episode 100.
No,
We
that's how
made it.
hot it is outside right now.
That's the weather showing its support for the sharpshooters. Let's hope that that support does stop this after this week, though.
I
We
would
don't want
prefer
no
I
harm
would
being
prefer that
done.
not to show the sport whether I'm good. It is
Yeah.
episode 100 though. We made it. This is wild. How do you feel about this, man?
I feel good, man. I mean, like I was thinking about it today. I was reminiscing a little bit, thinking about how far we've come. Uh, starting as the three of us doing the show in your room, and just evolving it into what it is now with the two of us, and how like just little things but still they add up. I mean, like having the logo, getting affiliated. um I think within like 2 or 3 months we did that, which was nice. Having the logo, having an official like band sponsor that lets us play their music on our show is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. The collabs that we've done working with other shows, other streams
I really
over on
enjoyed that. That's
Facebook.
one of the things I was thinking about too.
Um, it's a nice little outreach thing that we've worked on. Um, yeah, it's been nice, and like obviously there's still a long way to go. We'd always love more subscribers, more followers, more viewers. I mean, because honestly, as fun and nerdy as this is and gets, like we do this for you guys. We do this for the fans. We do this for wrestling fans. That you take 5 minutes out of your day, even throw us on and watch a little bit and go, "Oh, they're out of their mind," and you leave. Hey, we appreciate it. Even if you've never commented once in chat and you watch us on demand or watch us on YouTube, um, it's really cool. So, thank you all for sticking with us and being with us, whether it's been from day one ish or you're just joining us tonight because you saw 100th episode and thought, "Oh, this is gonna be cool." Um, so yeah,
Agreed.
thank you guys, and thank you, Keverlast, for the congratulations. We appreciate that, and yeah, it's time to dive in. We're gonna do some segments. As some of you may have noticed, despite what it says on the bottom of the screen, it seems like Matt is not back.
Well, he's trying to get back.
He's having some technical issues. He's not able to sign in to his Discord. So work in progress. We'll see if he's able to join us throughout. But as for right now, we push onward. We push forward with our evening. So usually we start with trivia. We did give the trivia question to Matt to ask us this week, so we're going to skip that for now, and we're going to move on. We're going to start with a card pack opening. Uh,
Ooh.
so we have yet another one here. This is the big episode 100. I'm hoping we get a nice little pull. So doing
This will
this
be the
early,
one.
kick off the show. Let's see what we got going on.
And
All
honestly, we
right.
might do a second one after the break if you want to be bold. That's up to you though.
We'll see. We'll see how things are
You're on
going.
the big screen, bro.
All
Like this might be the
right.
biggest you've ever been on the screen. Thank you, Harley, for the congrats. We really appreciate it. Harley Keverlast, literally like day one fans. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate anyone joining throughout the evening. Again, watching on delay. We appreciate any and all support. Because again, that's why we do it. We do it to have fun with all of you in chat and talk about wrestling when the rest of the world kind of sucks. So it's nice to have wrestling, which also kind of sucks sometimes. But you know what? We can laugh at the kind of sucky together. So not speaking of, actually, this guy's pretty dope. Starting off, we have a
Hey,
base card
that's a good sign.
stinger. A nice card.
That's a good
Next
sign.
up, we have a base card, Rich
Oh
Cassidy.
my God, this might be my favorite pack so far.
Well, you just jinxed it
Damn it.
because now we have a magazine base edition
Oh, I don't mind
of
that.
Matt
You hate the
Matt
Bucks. I don't hate
Jackson.
them.
You should hate them.
You should.
Um, Solidarity amongst your host. All right, I'm gonna go to the bottom base cards first, then we'll look at the hits later. Now we have base Lance Archer,
Okay.
and we have a base Arn Anderson.
God,
Haven't
he's
seen that
so
card in a
big.
while. Look at him. Hey, don't be careful. He'll pull out the Glock on you. Um, all right, now for our hits, we have. Oh wow, really? Oh well.
What?
We have a gold variant of the Sting base card.
That you just got. Literally the same
Well,
exact card.
well, yeah, but that one's blue, so this is the gold
I know,
one. So
that's
the gold
just
one's a little bit rarer.
love it.
Well, the reason I said it is because it's even funnier. Because the next card is a shiny variant of the Matt Jackson magazine card. So kind of a lazy pack, kind of unfortunate. I mean, it's a good hit, but it's not numbered. But what's a bummer if you can't tell on the very you can probably see it on the very top.
I see
It
a
looks
little. Yep.
a little scuffed.
Yep.
And that is not my doing. That is the packaging. Oh well, garbage for that one. And last but not least for this pack, we have a base main features for Ray Phoenix.
Oof. All right, so could have been better. Started off strong.
Yeah, yeah, but well, the base cards mean nothing for me. I already have all those. But Jay says your show has been on longer than Eric Bischoff beat WWF in the ratings. You know what? He's got a point. He's got a point.
Yeah, that was
We
just
we
84 weeks.
83. Come on, Danny.
Oh, shit.
And
Shit.
yeah, so we got him by about what was that 4 months almost. Look at us. Well done, us. All right. Well, that was our card pack opening. We are down to one, two, three, 4 packs left.
Ooh. So it's your decision if you want to open another one after the break for the 100. I'll let that be up
Yeah,
to you.
we'll see. We shall see. But all right, now it's time to do the fantasy leaderboard for the Road to All In
I don't
budget
wanna.
game. All right, before you pull this up, Danny,
I
don't do
wanna.
it yet.
I don't want to.
I gotta say, this week was kind of nutty. Something happened that has never happened in either season of the game so far, and it's very interesting now at the top, in my opinion. So, for those of you that don't know, 2 of our 9 competitors did not submit lineups this week.
Again? There's another one besides me?
Well, no, yeah. He wasn't 2 weeks in a row though.
Ah.
So, he missed a week prior in the season. So far, I think we've had 3 of our 9 players miss at least 1 week, maybe even 2, both of you, all of you. So, yeah, I guess let's pull it up and I'll break it down from there. But this is a crazy week because besides the bottom 2, no movement.
Wow.
Nobody moved. Yeah.
TJ and Jay DeFalco both got the same exact points. That's awesome.
Let's break this down. Starting at the top.
Wow. Keverlast. No.
Keverlast in first place still, but only by a thread.
That's
that lead
crazy.
The lead is gone. He had like a 40, 50, maybe
Yeah.
even 60-point lead. He had a big lead.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
He had the worst week out of everybody, even worse than the 2 people that did not submit lineups.
Oh, wait. He submitted a lineup?
He submitted a lineup
Oh, shit.
and had the worst week. Brutal.
I'm sorry.
Brutal stuff.
That's bad. Oh, I'm sorry, Keverlast.
Yeah, well, he had a bad string there. Claudio not being on Dynamite did not help him at all. And I think something else happened. I can't recall right now, but something else. Oh, MJF also didn't help him because the DQ finish got him 0 points.
I can't believe I'm even in first. So yeah, man.
Exactly.
That's
you are
crazy.
Still in first. Holding on. Going into the final 3 weeks now. We're in it. This is it. TJ and Jay DeFalco keeping their second place stalemate going for the second week in a row. They score the same amount of points. But they have different teams, different rosters both times. So both scored 77 points. Both tied for second. Both 3 points away. Very close.
That's crazy.
Then from there, we have Notorious ATB in 4th place. He had the best week out of everyone by far. 91 points. And he is now like, what is that, 15, 16 points away from first. Again, the lead is tighter, and props to Notorious. He has had the best week out of everybody for 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, he till
So,
5. I'll give them credit, man. Ever since we did AEW, they've been on point.
coming in hot.
It's as
Um,
if the better wrestling promotion is more interesting
yeah,
in caring for most people,
maybe,
except for me.
maybe. So from there, Tanner and Harley are still kind of in this, but a little bit in the hole. But they're respectable. They can make something happen if they have a good week or two. It's 3 weeks left, but still, it's possible. From there, the bottom three, I don't know. I mean, like, it's tough. I mean, Burn is like 100 so points out. Jim Fields like 120-ish. And then Danny's like also about 120-ish. So it's still possible, but you're pretty in the hole. And coincidentally, the bottom three are the three that have forgotten lineups more than once at least during this game. So shows you how important it is to get a lineup in. So with that, a reminder, get me your lineups before noon Eastern tomorrow, Danny. You know what, Danny? I'm
Stay
making your deadline.
serious.
I'm making your deadline midnight.
Tonight? Oh shit.
Get. I want your lineup tonight.
Oh shit.
This is insane. You're the co-host of this show and you're not submitting lineups. It's an embarrassment.
I've had a rough couple of weeks. All right, and for some reason, changing it to Wednesday has totally thrown off my life. I have no idea why.
Well, it just goes to show how much you care about this fantasy game. Shame.
I'm giving other people a chance.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, either way, but Jim and Danny are the only two at the bottom that had a little bit of a flip. By a few points, Jim took over Danny. Danny now dropping down to last place. If that flip didn't happen, there would have been no movement, but everybody made it much tighter. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting these last few weeks. Get your lineups in, except for Danny, by midnight. By midnight for Danny, noon, everybody else tomorrow. And really quick, top wrestlers for the week. Jon Moxley, 23 points. Hologram, 22 points.
Yeah, good for Hologram.
From there, Okada, Mortos, Nightingale, Tekla, and Ford all with 15. Mark Briscoe with 14. A good chunk of those people weren't set with matches either. So remember that. You're taking a gamble, but those double points help a lot because I think Mortos didn't have a match, ended up with 15. Willow didn't have a match. Tekla, nothing. Ford, nothing. And they all got 15. So pay off. So get those rosters in. So far, I have 3 rosters submitted for this week, and they're all very different. I'm actually really intrigued to see how this is going to go this week.
Can Notorious just send me his roster? Can you just send me Notorious's roster?
I cannot. All right. Yeah, so that is the fantasy game. Stay tuned. Next week, we will have an update on week 5, going into the final 2 weeks. And I'm still thinking about it, but I'm leaning more towards leaving it in the current format and not doing the playoff structure thing. I was tempted, but I think I might just keep, now that it got so much tighter, I think I might just leave it as is and just make it whoever has the most points by the end. But next week is my final. I have to make the call by next week, so stay tuned. But it should stay the same. All right. That is our fantasy game.
Update on Matt. He is trying to create a new email because he can't figure out which email is attached to his current Discord. So we're going to go to commercial, attempt to help him in the next few minutes. We're not taking a long commercial. And then hopefully we'll be back with Matt. If not, we are still going to go ahead with what we have planned. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about why we started the podcast, what was the reason, and kind of go through it. And we're also going to talk about the worst WWE or World Heavyweight Champion in WWE history, according to us, what we feel. So stay tuned. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. ladies and gentlemen, what the hell is... I apologize. I did not expect 2 different guests, but we have Matt back. Say hello to everyone, Matt.
How's everyone doing? Been a while. I don't even know what Discord is anymore.
Old man Matt took a little while to get on, but he is on Discord. He figured it out. And it looks like we have a special guest appearance by, is that Roman Reigns?
Hoorah!
Oh,
Wait.
no.
Roman, you're back with me. That's amazing.
I don't...
Last time I was on, he was on.
It's the return of your tribal chief. I'm here.
I didn't ask for this.
Welcome. I acknowledge Matt. Well, I had to come back to the show. Congratulations on 100 episodes from Roman Reigns.
That's great.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Where have you been on TV?
I have to go now.
What?
My planet needs me.
The planet. You're not a superhero? See, Matt, this is the kind of shenanigans that...
Oh, man. Hey, everybody.
He puts the glasses on after.
What's up? How y'all doing?
You just missed something, Juice. Roman Reigns in the flesh
No way. With his schedule?
with his schedule.
Wow.
Wait,
Good
is
for
he still
him.
friends with Paul Heyman?
I don't even know.
He's not. He's not. Not anymore.
I broke. Okay.
We had to broker that one without Paul.
Hmm.
That
I
sucks.
see.
Oh well, maybe next time. Maybe episode 200. I'll see him.
Oh, right. So, moving on.
Hello, Matt.
Hello.
I was going to say, Matt,
Good to see you.
the fans, everyone's been wondering how you've been. You want to give them any updates at all, or we just want to move on? They don't get to know about anything.
You saw what happened just before? That's life now. I can't. I have no control over anything in my life anymore.
So we just got to move on while we have you. I get it. All right. So
I have to acknowledge.
Matt, what were your thoughts on WrestleMania 41? Tell me everything.
Which one was that? Was that the one with The Rock?
I want a full recap on the last 12 months of wrestling. Give me everything you got right now. You're on the clock. Put it up, Danny.
who is your current favorite wrestler?
My current favorite wrestler is Floyd Mayweather because I've been watching the old WrestleManias.
I was gonna say he's gonna give back then.
in the parachute pants.
Outstanding.
He actually really
Alright.
clocked Big Show,
Oh yeah.
It was
sure.
hilarious.
but he also would have gotten killed if they actually fought.
Big Show was
Mhm.
furious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
All right. Well, let's dive in. First up, we're gonna do some trivia. I believe Matt has the trivia question for us this week.
This
So,
was tough. This was tough
Matt,
because
Hit us with your best.
I was gonna try and tie in with the times. You know, we're going to Saudi Arabia this weekend. I was like, let me find a nice
Christ.
Saudi trivia. Didn't find anything interesting. No one cared about Saudi Arabia.
That's about right. Yeah.
And then I realized that since I'm up to February of AEW and I have no idea what's going on in WWE, I'm not relevant there either. So I figured since I'm still watching the WrestleManias, I was going to kick it back to what's top of mind for me.
All right.
So I got a 3-part trivia question for you guys.
Let's go.
It's a main trivia question with two bonus
Ooh.
editions.
Okay.
We're going to go back to WrestleMania 25. I'll give you the WrestleMania.
Ooh. Okay.
This might be easy for some of you, but that's why I have the 3 parts to it.
Yeah.
In WrestleMania 25, they had a giant celebration, bringing back old and new wrestlers, commingling, and enjoying the love, spreading the love. One of those matches was a 3-on-1 handicap match with what 3 Hall of Famers versus Chris Jericho.
Oh.
Bonus, if you can name who accompanied them to the ring. Double bonus, if you can tell me who ended in the ring with Chris Jericho
Oh.
and was the whole reason for the match in the first place.
Okay.
I think I know.
I was
all
gonna
of them.
say, yeah. I think we're.
I probably worded that weird, but because it was getting too easy for you guys, I figured I had to make it
No,
work.
I get everything you said.
Okay. So how you want to do it, Danny? You want to take one, I'll take the other, and we'll just gentleman's agreement that we know it.
Well,
Or
to
how
be
you
honest
want?
with you, I'm iffy on the first one. I'm more confident in the last two, so I'll go with the first one, and you correct me if I'm wrong on one of them.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it was Steamboat. I
Flair.
want to say it was. No, I don't think it was Flair. Flair was gone at 24.
Oh, that's right. It was
This was
Steamboat.
25.
See, that's
I
why I
think it was
wasn't sure.
Steamboat. I think it was Steamboat,
Piper.
Piper, and Snuka. I think those were the three.
Was it Snuka?
And I think so.
Even
'Cause
after killing somebody?
yeah, when does that stop him? And then
Allegedly. So I don't want to get you
yeah,
guys in trouble.
allegedly, it's okay. I've said worse on the show.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Steamboat ended in the ring with him, right?
Well, you're talking about the match or the segment? What ended?
Segment is what I was
Oh,
talking
the
about.
segment. Okay.
Well, I think those answers are the same person.
Which is
could be
Mickey
wrong.
Rourke?
Mickey Rourke, 'cause they were promoting the wrestler,
Yeah.
and Mickey Rourke knocked him out. Jericho, he punched him,
Yeah.
held the arm, and
Juice, you were correct on all three,
Nice. It was
but you
Snuka.
guys didn't say who accompanied them to the ring.
We that's
well, that's what I was saying.
It was
I
Mickey Rourke.
assumed it was the same person, but I guess it wasn't.
Incorrect.
Can't- Yeah, I can't.
So then a Hall of Famer would have accompanied them, not Slaughter.
Could that have been Flair? Could that have been Flair?
I thought Flair was
Oh.
there.
Maybe it was him. I thought he wasn't there at all, though. I don't know. I don't know the second one. I can't
Because
remember.
24 is when he had the retirement match.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Yeah, it's
It
Flair.
was indeed the kiss stealing.
Yeah.
I don't know how the rest of it goes. But yeah, Ric Flair he was the manager. After the match, he came in, got beat up by Jericho.
That's why
and
I thought he
then
was in
Jericho
the
called
match.
Mickey
Yeah,
Rourke
for
to
sure.
the ring, and Mickey Rourke hit him with the short left,
Yep.
That was hilarious.
and that was that.
There you go. A classic segment. Killer Tomato says, "What a letdown! You're more like a juice pouch."
Wow.
Wow. What the
That was harsh.
whiz?
Jade Falcon
I'm
said,
sorry.
"What's a Matt?" Kill Tomato said, "When's a Matt?" And then Fallison said, "Matt's back." So, really just want to know about you.
That's,
I think
people
they're
know
also
what they
nervous
want.
because you look like you're living in like a dungeon, and I've been talking a lot of shit about you on the podcast since you left us,
Yeah,
deserted us,
yeah,
more
it's
like it
it's
actually.
fine.
So
It's fine.
I think
Whatever he
that's what they're
says, I haven't heard, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Well, it's good to know you. It's good to know you've stayed in touch as a viewer of the program. Thank you. But no, we're happy to have you. We're glad
yes.
you gave us the time to stop by and talk some wrestling tonight.
Yes.
So I think it's
So-
about time to jump in. So I felt this segment was very fitting for tonight. For those of you that do not know, the three of us started this show about 2 years ago now, and when we started it, the reason it came about was in our group chat, we were talking about this very segment we're about to do. And I found it funny that we never actually did the segment here on the show, and I felt it's a good time to bring it back and do it now. So we talked about what were the best matches that you could suggest to either a new fan of wrestling or someone that's never watched wrestling to get them into the art of wrestling, the sports entertainment and wrestling of it all. So Matt, Danny, and myself have each came up with a list of 5 matches that we're going to break down here and share why we put them on our list. I don't know about you two. I didn't really rank mine per se. So I'm not sure if you guys did. We can dive into that right now. And I find it very interesting that none of us did the same match at all. All very different matches. So Danny, whenever you're ready, throw it on up the screen.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There we go. All right, so I'll start off. I did cheat. I did see your matches and not want to repeat any because I knew
that's not.
I knew one of mine was going to get repeated. I wasn't sure what the other one was, and I wanted to do a little variety. So the Hell in a Cell match that Matt picked would have been on my list, but I saw that he picked that, so I didn't want to double it. And same thing with your Omega and Danielson match. But I also had a bunch of other matches. Like, I was still taking 2 or 3 out of this list that I was going back and forth, so it really wasn't It wasn't like a bad thing. I just wanted variety. I didn't want too much repetition. But those would have been the two that repeated if there were repetition.
Well, you could have stayed true to yourself. I mean, listen, if they're the matches you'd show a person.
Trust me, I did stay true to myself. Like I said, I just wanted to let you know. Those two would have been on the list. And my honorable mention, and I was really considering putting this on, was the 92 Rumble. I wasn't sure. I was kind of back and forth on that one, but I decided to put in the other Hell in a Cell instead.
Well, chat, you heard it here first. Danny stayed true to himself and cheated.
I'm like Eddie Guerrero, brother. How dare you? Watch yourself.
So again, for anyone that's just joining us, welcome. This is our 100th episode. We have our former co-host Matt joining us for this evening only, and we're breaking down matches we think are the best matches to show to a brand new wrestling fan to get them into it and let them stick with wrestling. If you have any suggestions or any ideas that have matches that you would show somebody that are not here, or you agree, throw them in chat. Let us know. Killer Tomato says Gravy Bowl match. I'm not really sure you're going to keep him with that one, Tom. But still, throw the matches in there. Let us know why, and we will talk about them right here on the show. So,
what is a Gravy Bowl match?
I assume literally just a match in gravy.
It's like the mud wrestling.
They used to have that. Yeah, they used to have that on the Thanksgiving Day specials and stuff like that.
Gobble gobble.
That doesn't sound
what?
Yeah.
I thought he would at least use like the divas. What were they used to do? The KY jelly match or whatever.
that was like a version of it. It was just
essentially what it was. Yeah. All right. So, do we want to start with our number 5s work up or go one at a time? Oh, how y'all feeling?
Let's start with our number 5s and work up. Each go one at a time there.
Okay. So Danny, you started talking about your honorable mention first, so I'll let you go first. Talk about your honorable mention if you want, and then your number 5.
Cool, yeah. So the honorable mention was the 92 Rumble. I was really debating putting that on because I was like, all right. I was trying to pick matches that didn't need too much. You didn't need to watch beforehand. They either like really explained it in the match really explained the story, or like you could just get into it based on how it was going. So the 92 Rumble I thought would be like a cool, easy, fun match for people to get into. It's considered one of the best Rumbles ever, so I figured that would be an easy one. But then I kind of went with Taker and HBK just because that Hell in a Cell was like a lot of variety of wrestling in one. It had the technical aspect where they were actually wrestling the match and going through moves. It had the blood and gore aspect where they were using the cell itself. And then it honestly had the mystical, like fun soap opera aspect of it with Kane coming back and ripping off the doors and everything. So like I think it had a little bit of everything that really would entice a fan that wasn't too overboard.
All right.
Yeah, and that match really kicked off Hell in a Cell, like made it what it was. I feel like I know it was the first one, right? But like, was it the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Was it first? I thought it was second. Was it first?
No, that was the first.
I thought it was the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it really like set the
I think those were the perfect two to pick for the first one. I don't know who else could have done it better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mankind.
And that was the match Sean hurt his back in, right? Or no?
No, that was
that was a casket match.
Yeah. Where he lost his smile. All right, Matt, do you want to go or you want me to go?
There will always be sunny days, Juice. I'll go. I'm trying to think how to attack mine because it's 3-1 for me here.
True.
My 5, 4, 3. I'm considering them as one match. Because I feel like without one, I don't know. It's like the whole story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're giving them the retrospective of the feud.
Yeah,
give them like
kind of
everything. I get it.
Kind of, yeah. Because as great as one match is, they go to a whole other level when it's all three together. And I see you snuck one in also, so we got 4. Oh no, that's cold. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say
there was no repeats.
It's kind of. So before we move on, Jay says Kofi versus Brock, Big E versus Brock. Brock winning the Money in the Bank that he never was a competitor in. Tell that potential fan wrestling will break your heart and not give a crap. Hey, you know what? If it's someone that's already kind of getting into it, it's a bold take to palate cleanser.
Don't jade him. How dare you?
Really setting that expectation. but I could kind of get the approach. Okay,
Might as well
but no,
put in the finger. Might as well put in the finger poke of doom then.
Brock breaking the streak, man. Y'all really don't want new wrestling fans, do you? Holy crap.
I mean, why would you want new wrestling fans, Juice?
See, I don't think a fan would really understand or appreciate like respect streak, like if they're new and you show them that. I don't know.
No,
I think
I agree. The streak is something that you really had to like. You had to buy into. You really had to be there for like the whole ride of it. A lot of these matches weren't so much like, at least for me, weren't so much about like the story behind it. It was like, oh, that's a match that I can tell in like one shot what they're doing.
Yeah, and also keep in mind something I kind of unofficially said to Danny and Matt is when you're showing these matches to these people, these mystery random people that exist in the world, they are being shown like the pre-match video package. So at least they are going to get that context. You don't have to give them everything. They'll get that before the match too. It's not just bell to bell.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I respect the strat of putting 3 Gargano Ciampa matches because like you want to give them something again, a beginning, middle, and an end. Show them the ups and downs of the whole thing. So yeah, it's a big gamble. You want them to really. You better hope they like Gargano.
Maybe they like Ciampa.
Or yeah, true. Maybe they'll go with the heel. Yeah, I dig it. Did you have any honorable mention? Anything that you was really close you didn't put on or nah?
It was tough because there was a lot of matches I did like, but kind of what Danny was saying, like he needed like the story behind it. I was trying to find that one and done type of match.
Yeah. All right.
Meanwhile, I put on a whole feud, but anyway.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, you're gonna make them watch the matches one after the other, so you're fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna
He's gonna
show in 4 hours.
He's gonna show him the matches out of order. The second match and the first.
Really confuse him.
Like, what?
Wait a second. When did they win?
All right. Diving in to the bottom of my list. So my approach with the list was I really wanted to try and give them a variety of match styles, and 2, I wanted to try and keep it semi-recent within the last 10 years. Because my mentality is if I'm showing somebody wrestling to get them into and they're new, like I personally wouldn't want to show them something from like the 80s or the 90s or like the 2000s because like it's great, but you're setting an expectation of like that's what it was. It's not what it is now. So I tried to keep it relatively in the last 10 years outside of Punk and Cena, but that's like close. And then, so my honorable mention that I didn't get in here, I wanted to put like kind of a straight up tag match somewhere in here. So I was gonna do Briscoe's FTR dog collar from Ring of Honor, but nice. I didn't do it. I went with instead Anarchy in the Arena, the very first one at Double or Nothing. This is the one that was the Inner Circle. I believe they were going at it with. Oh, now I'm brain farting. Eddie Kingston and all that. This is the one with the gas can when Eddie came out with the gas can all bloody and stuff. So I figured this was a good one. Also, as much as I probably wanted to show them other Anarchy in the Arenas, I refused to include the Bucks in any of the matches because I didn't want them to have a first impression of the Young Bucks. So even in my fantasy world, I'm not giving them any new fans. Hate. Yeah, so I would do Anarchy in the Arena from Double or Nothing, the very first one, with Wild Thing playing. It set the bar, set the standard, kind of like Hell in a Cell, but modern day like stipulation idea, not the match itself. But that's my number 5.
Why don't you go do number 4 as well, since
you're talking? Sure. And then from there, my number 4, I had to get a women's match on here, and I thought, what better way, in my opinion, show them the greatest women's match of all time? Sasha and Bayley both going today, so they can follow both of them still wherever they want in their careers. I think it's amazing. I think it's the best women's match ever, and you never know. Maybe they'll like the women more than the men. You don't know who you're showing them to either. But yeah, I think it's a great match to show them, and that's obviously a theme too with my list just in general. And I think with all of ours, just the vibes of like a crowd and the holy shit moments, like the way they react to the match. It makes it feel special, and it's something that a new person can really latch onto. Like, oh shit, damn, like these people love this. So that's my number 4.
All right, my number 4, I went with, I think, one of the greatest matches in TNA history, but also wrestling history. Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. Just again, a different style of wrestling. Nothing that has to be too technical as far as like submission holds or wrestling moves. This is more about like how fluid you guys can go, how these guys can work together seamlessly. Some high risk moves that they haven't really seen before. And honestly, a triple threat where like everyone is really involved all the time and no one's like really resting and stuff like that, which is really hard to do. So that was the next one I put on there. Love this match.
Word. Yeah, no, it's a good one. It's a good one to show for sure. And it's different from like WWE, AEW, so it gives them like a sense of like another company ish, really, that they exist out there. Matt, did you want to talk anything more about your 3 and 4, or just kind of let us go through and you jump in at 2?
Yeah, I'll jump in at 2.
He's like, I already said all I need to say about these two guys, right?
Yeah,
They're
I figured.
They are.
Yeah, and then from there, I'll just do my number 3, Danielson and Kenny Omega from Grand Slam, New York, the very first Grand Slam. Just biased because these next 2 are going to be biased because I was there, but like, what a match to show somebody. Like, this was AEW's biggest show at the time, like almost 20,000 people. Danielson's first match outside of WWE in a long time. Most didn't think he'd wrestle ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kenny Omega, just a dream match, a great moment. Like, just awesome stuff. So yeah, that's an easy one for me to show a new person, a new fan, get him into it.
100%. That's kind of the same reasons why I was picking that one too, because that was, I mean, we were there, so yes, definitely biasy, but I mean, it was a great match. It was everything we really expected it to be, except for the ending. I think the ending was a surprise, which was awesome and added more to it. That's also why I kind of went with Ospreay and Omega, just another like really moment defining match. 2 guys at the top of their game that really can go at Forbidden Door. Again, this would have been where I put Danielson and Omega, but I wanted to switch it up just slightly. You go from more of a technical match with Danielson to more of a high flying and like reversal match with Omega and with Ospreay. And really just shows more to Omega's variety and depth that he can do, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That was the one that was in Canada, right?
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. I think isn't that where he did the Tiger Driver?
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah. So, well, no, maybe it wasn't.
No, wait.
Either
not
way.
the Tiger.
Yeah, no, Tiger Driver
was in Canada though.
Yeah. Still, great match. So yeah, it's another good one. All right, Matt, you're number 2.
My number 2, almost my number 1, because to what you were saying, Juice, how you're trying to stay recent with your matches.
Threw that out the window.
I get why you would say that though.
Yeah.
No, because wrestling was a little different back then, like the styles and everything. But this match was timeless. There was no style to this match. This match was just like, holy shit, what did I just see? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
the fact he survived the first bump to take all those other bumps. It's just one of those moments of like, you remember where you were when you saw this match.
Yes.
It was crazy.
And especially the more like we see these documentaries, and at this point it's been all that's been said, but like you find out the little things where they put fucking zip ties on the top of the cage to hold these 2 men up there, which is insane.
300-pound man.
The spot where he goes through the cage wasn't planned. He was actually like all this crazy stuff, man. It's just wild that he's alive, let alone that we were able to get a classic out of it. And he was smiling with the tooth. Oh my God.
He was sticking his tongue through the hole in his lip.
Bro, when I was a kid, I honestly thought that was a booger because it didn't comprehend in my child's mind that a tooth just went through his lip and into his nose.
And he was smiling. He was
smiling, right? Like, why would I think that he's like that hurt?
Unbelievable.
Iconic.
Yeah. And you could like, when you go back and you like know all that and you listen to the announcers, you could like JR is pleading for him to stop. It's a real plead.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not hyping it up. He's like, for the love of God.
Like Jerry Lawler is honestly speechless for a lot of that because like he's the color commentary. There's not really a lot to color commentate when someone's like on the
No.
verge of death. So like he was quiet for so much of that.
Jay says Mick Foley single-handedly desensitized me to violence.
It's true,
Pretty much.
man.
This is why we do what we do.
It's 100% true. I totally feel that. Mick Foley is
Oh.
literally the reason why I can see like blood and gore these days and thumbtacks in people's backs and be like, oh my god, that's awesome.
And now he's Santa Claus, so we're good.
It's like
Good
it's
for him.
crazy. It's crazy. My number 2 is I wanted to pick a match that really like the whole story was in the match, and this one was a great one where it was an easy thing to come into. You saw Austin was this asshole. Even you don't even need the video package beforehand. Just watch their entrances, right? Like Austin's just this asshole who like flips people off and isn't really paying attention. You can tell he's got this attitude. Hart, you can tell, is the nice guy, giving his glasses to fans, all this stuff. And then during the match, you just see the turn, and you just slowly see a turn, and it's just like, what is happening? When did this like? How did this happen? And you feel it too. You see Austin, you feel for him. It's I mean, probably the most iconic WrestleMania moment is just that picture snapshot of Austin screaming with the blood trickling down his nose, like dripping off his nose and stuff. I don't know. Besides my number 1, I don't know what other match can really like get you the entire way through, like without having to know any background.
Yeah, no, for sure. And for what it's worth, I mean, I think all these matches are amazing. I don't think
for
any of these
sure.
are, none of these are bad to show a new fan. And again, I don't know about you two. I didn't rank mine, so mine are in no particular order. I put them on the list the order I thought of them. So next up, my number 2 from NXT. It's Gargano versus Adam Cole. 2 out of 3 falls for the NXT title. This was also in Brooklyn. And again, little biased, but it just goes to show something you can show firsthand, like experience and knowledge to a person as you're showing them the match too. Just like this is like the epic of all the matches on my list. Like it went for, I believe, like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they just kept amping it up. They kept going and going, fever pitch of the crowd wanting it, knowing it's his night, but not giving it to you yet. And then they pulled the trigger, and the whole place erupted.
Yep.
I think that's, and again, they're both still wrestling. Fans can go see them in 2 different companies now if they like what they see. And yeah, NXT's not what it was, but still, I think it's an amazing match. I think it's a great match to show fans for what modern wrestling is.
And these guys really were like the peak of NXT, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinion. That Black and Gold brand was these guys, and that match, like even thinking about it now, still gives me goosebumps. Like that match was just crazy how it went through every fall. You like, and what I liked about it, because one thing we don't like is how much false finishes are from finishers. They weren't doing like crazy finisher false finishes. They were doing big moves and big spots, which is what I appreciate with it. Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
Yeah, and now time for our number 1s.
Let's leave Matt for last since he's back for number 100. You just went, so I'll go first with my number 1.
Sure.
This one is a cop-out for me, but it is my favorite match of all time. I know for a lot of people it's considered like the number 1 match, so it's an easy pick to put on there, but it honestly is, I think, one of the best matches in the history of wrestling, with the exception of one minor botch that honestly kind of amplified the match because you thought Taker was about to get wheeled out. The match was perfect, almost. Like, it was crazy how it went through every spot, all the drama. This is really what started, unfortunately, the finishers being overused a lot, but this was the first time where people like kicked out of finishers more than once. So like, I remember us watching it because I was with you. We were just like, what the fuck? Like, how is this not like? It was insane.
Yeah.
So
Set the tone for what wrestling
unfortunate,
became,
but
though.
at that time it was great.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up, like the great, like, your favorite match of all time. I don't really know if I have like a set one in my head. Like, out of this list, like my 2 and 3 would probably be up there, but my favorite match ever would probably have to by default be something I've seen live, and it's probably a Ring of Honor match. I
Nice.
don't even know. Like I don't even know. That's a whole different topic. Um, but
Can
yeah,
I just say I'm stunned you have Cena on your list. I get it's Punk Cena,
yeah.
but I'm
I
stunned
mean,
you're even giving
that
Cena the time of day.
that's Cena's probably best match ever.
Well, it's there for good reason because I think like just the video package will help a lot with setting up like the pipe bomb and all the other stuff.
Hmm.
I just think it's such a match of its time and like what it did for the shift with Punk and Danielson and all of that within WWE. And it changed a lot. Like it didn't change a lot, but it changed a lot at least with the fans and their voice and speaking up. And I think it's a great a match to show from like a time like like a bubble of
Yeah.
like look how this crowd was, the environment of Cena being the baby and Punk being the heel, yet the crowd was acting how it was acting, like the thought of him leaving at midnight with Vince being there. So there's we all know it's a great story and feud and all that. I mean, unfortunately after that he kind of fell off and went to shit because of Triple H and Kevin Nash and Del Rio, but I digress. um
The
but
Summer
the
of
match
Nash.
itself, I think it's a great match to show a new fan, just to show them like what wrestling can be with that like drama and passion behind fans, a hometown crowd. So I think this is the only hometown crowd like kind of match I got going on here too.
John,
So
if that's you, I think I left my water in there.
that's
If
my
you
number
could
one.
bring it
And
over.
and Juice, you could tie it in to
I think I left my
the
water in there.
today's
If you could bring it
wrestling
over.
Well,
as
yeah.
being like, oh, just put on SmackDown, you could watch another pipe bomb.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right, you
some
save it for
people are
Thursday.
saying that pipe bomb was better than the original. It's weird.
I will not give in to this bait, and you can both save it for the Thursday show where neither of you will be there.
What? Wait, where am I going on
Matt-
Thursday?
But you're canceled. Where's your number one going, Matt?
God damn it.
So my number one, TLC WrestleMania 17. It just had it all. It's another match that I think is timeless, where the style you could plug this into today, and it plays. It still plays, and just so many big bumps. You have the iconic spear off the ladder when Jeff Hardy's hanging from the titles. You have the iconic Jeff Hardy doing his swanton off the ladder, of course, through the tables.
God, yeah.
It's a lot of high level moves, a lot of bumps, and surprise, surprise, Edge and Christian again. They just always seem to win these.
Those sons of
But-
bitches.
But yeah, you could just drop this. You could just drop this match out of the sky, and I think anyone would enjoy it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
dangerous.
that's
I
fair.
wouldn't do that.
So let me ask you, Matt, real quick. If you could think of a more recent ladder match that you've seen that you would show somebody instead of TLC, what would it be? Anything come to mind or not really?
More recent, you said?
Yeah, even if more recent is like 10 years ago, is there like what's the last ladder match or TLC match you can remember watching that you would think that'd be dope to show somebody now? I'm just curious if you could think of anything. If not, it's cool.
No, but think of something.
That's okay. I put him on the hot seat.
I hate to say it because, I mean, it was a solid match. It wasn't like an all time match, but the Cody and Sammy TNT ladder match, that was a really good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. That was the early days, relatively.
What would you say,
Hey, Dub.
Juice?
For a ladder match now, or TLC, I mean,
Like, are you counting Money in the Banks also?
I was gonna say,
mean,
I was
feel like-
thinking maybe one of the Money in the Banks to pass, like, I don't know,
Yeah, I
maybe
mean, if you-
2 or 3 years ago.
If you
Oh,
want,
you know what? No.
honest,
If we're doing Money in the Banks, I changed my answer.
okay.
Money in the
Which one?
Bank when they have to climb the building because of COVID.
Oh God.
You know what though? I mean, wouldn't be the worst one to show people because of how different it was. It's a match of its time, and it's probably one of the few
I forgot about it.
COVID. It's probably one of the few pandemic era matches I'd probably go back and rewatch. Even
When they
though it
run
was,
into Vince's office.
yeah, just because it was so wacky.
That was terrible.
It's
I hated that.
one of the few. I didn't like it either, but it's one of the few I'd go back
No,
and
totally. I understand what you mean.
watch.
Just, ugh.
I'd probably do the. I hate to say it, but like what was it? The one with the Death Triangle and the Elite, where they did the best of 7. The last match, I think, was the ladder.
Oh,
Yeah, that
that's
was a
fair.
very good one. I forgot
Probably
about
that one. That's the first
That
one
was
that's
a good
coming to mind. There's probably others, but yeah. All right. Well, hey, that was fun. That was our top 5-ish matches that we'd show people. Getting into wrestling new. If you think we missed any, let us know in the chat. If you have any you want to add, keep throwing them in the chat. We'll talk about them after the fact. But are we heading to commercial, Danny, or are we rolling on?
I believe we're rolling on. Let me double check what we got here. That's a good call.
Sure.
We have.
While you do that,
we
actually
have an
have
hour
a special.
till the next ad. We're fine.
We have a special guest that wants to pop in and say hello. So please throw your hands up and say hello to a friend of the show, common guest, the one, the only.
Oh God.
It's Mr. Tony Schiavone. He's here.
You know what, Tony?
Congratulations.
Tony, you came for a good part because I was going to surprise my hosts and my guest host right now because we've been talking about it and they might have thought I forgot about it, but I didn't. A couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, I don't remember how long, we did an alphabet together on our group chat, and I said I'd put it together and throw it on here, and I did. So, Tony, you can tell us how you feel about our alphabet. I don't know if you can even do the alphabet, but you can tell us how you feel about it.
This is for Sting.
I'm having trouble getting on camera.
That's all right. You don't got to be on camera.
Congratulations on episode 72. I'm honored to be here tonight
That's wrong.
on Collision.
We're not. This isn't Saturday.
I adopted a dog.
What's its name?
Cross country.
Its
That was
name
a
is
good
its name is
opportunity to
Cross
say it.
Country.
A is for Austin. B is for chair. Tony Storm.
All right.
Gotta go. Bye.
Thanks, Tony.
Tony Schiavone, everybody.
The worst. I
of
can't
the
believe you
show.
asked him to come on.
I didn't ask him. He was here. Couldn't stop him.
Why is he in your house?
I don't make the rules, Danny. All right, what's this alphabet?
We did it.
Are you just showing it or are you talking about it? Let's
Well,
go.
I mean,
What are we doing?
we can talk about it, but yeah, this is the alphabet we did. Watch your mouth. All right, this is the alphabet we did. You guys at home, let us know what you think. I think this was just on the fly where I put in. They had a image. A is for Austin, and then they said just go. I didn't think they'd actually go with it, and then they started doing it. So then we just kept going with it. So I'll scroll down a little bit. We've been on this for a while, so we got up to G. So yeah, then we got Honky Tonk Man, the IC Championship, Jawbreaker. I think that was a Juice one, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe that was a Sal Matt one. I don't know. I think we talked about. I think Money in the Bank is obviously we're around Money in the Bank time. Going down a little bit more, we got Near Falls, Owen or Owens, depending on how you feel that day. Classic. S is for Stunner. That's a throwback to nice old Juice working at a certain place. I can't give too much information about that. Q is for Qualifier because we were also talking about King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. So Qualifier came up around that time. Scrolling down more, we got T for Table, U for Undertaker, V for Vertebreaker. That was in our best finishes of all time. If you want to go back a few weeks and check out our link tree below, you can see best finishes of all time tournament that we did. Thank you so much. And then W is for War Games. X, they said, was not for Xavier. Oh, X got weird here. Let's see what happened. Hold on. Whoa.
Why?
There we go.
Is for the what's a single?
Yeah.
Singal.
Ah, no.
Singal?
I don't know. I
Seagull?
don't know who wrote
Singal.
this.
Well, it wouldn't be an episode 100 without a Danny spelling error, so thank you for that.
Classic.
There
Classic.
may have been others. There may have been others above I missed.
That's why I scrolled through quickly. So if you want to check it out, you got to go back in the link tree below after the show and check out the rewind and see if you can pause and find any misspellings. Moving on. So
brother,
we're going to our last part of tonight. which is
This
the
guy
worst
stinks.
WWE or world champions according to our list. I just want to.
Don't spoil the list. Show the
I
bottom
know.
first.
That's why I'm gonna do something first. Cool.
I'm waiting for it.
You shut up.
You've done it before.
I know. I was literally looking at it like I'm about to reveal the wrong part of the list. There we go. All right, so these are our 6 through 10. We're going to show half the list now and then the other half in a second. So these are our 6 through 10 worst WWE or world champions in WWE history. 10 is the least worst, and 1 is the worst. So, starting off with our number 10s, we got 2 recent ones and 1 oldie. Jey Uso, myself, Damian Priest for Juice, and Kane for Matt, which is interesting because I think Kane we just talked about last week.
We did.
So I kind of want to start with Matt and see Matt's take on Kane.
So, Kane, great wrestler. Love him. I got a lot of respect for him. Kind of cheated on this one because I don't know if you saw in the text that I sent you, I put in parentheses which title I was talking about. So for Kane, it was the WWE title because he held it for one day.
Yeah, okay. That's
so he
fair.
was a great world champion. He was a great world champion, but as a WWE champion, one
Terrible.
day. How can you judge someone in one day?
Awful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, for sure.
I was thinking about that when I was making the list, and I decided not to do any really short reigns because that would take like half the list between McMahon, Andre, Kane, Rey Mysterio. There were like a bunch that were like a day or less or a few days or less. So I wanted to actually focus on like a terrible champion. And no one came to mind faster than mid-card Jey Uso. What were you going to say?
Well, as we go further, you'll see that I don't stick to that rule. That was just a Kane rule and one other rule. And the rest was just
Kane rule. Oh man.
I love it.
You were saying, Danny?
No, I was saying Jey Uso, mid-card Jey Uso. He just finished a terrible world title reign. I think others were worse, so that's why I put him at 10. But yeah, no, I have him on my number 10. And you have, sir?
Yeah, so my mindset going into this was I really didn't think about, like you said, I didn't think about length of reign, how they won it, how they lost it, when they won it or lost it. My thing was, like, and again, for those of you watching, this was all encompassing every variation of a WWE world title ever. So, the world heavyweight, universal, again, every variation. We didn't count the ECW championship, but
We
if
should
it was
have.
WWE, if it was a main brand world title, it was included here. So that's a little thing about it. So what I did was whenever I looked through the list of wrestlers that have held a belt, and I think of like the lineage and the, what do you call it, the integrity, if you will, of a championship belt, the prestige, there's the word, prestige of the belt. Who's the name that I look at and literally just go, ill? Like, like no, like they should not be on here. They tarnish it, they make it actively worse.
I agree.
So I
felt like that with a lot of my list too.
That's how I feel with my list. So I start with Damian Priest. Just he's not a good main event talent at all. He's just got Triple H's rocket strapped to him, and he's not good at cutting promos. He's not good in the ring. He's just not good, and he's very overrated. And I cannot believe they actually gave him the belt at all. But
and a pretty lengthy reign with it too. Not even just like the belt, but they gave him a longer reign than I think he deserved.
Too long.
Agreed. Well, any reign with him would have been too long. All right, next up, our number 9s. I'll start it off with Sheamus. I feel like every title reign, I did not like how they started. I didn't like from the first one where he like accidentally put Cena through a table. The Bryan Danielson one where he won in 18 seconds. The 2015 one where he was just pretty much holding the belt for Roman Reigns to like take it from him, and like a month or two later, just every title reign for him is just not been good, not really been anything I cared about, and he's had multiple. So Sheamus has to be my number 9.
I couldn't do that to Greg.
Fuck
Oh,
Greg.
don't worry. It's very easy to. Yeah, I'll just keep bringing it. I'll keep sending it back. Maybe we'll just do a snake thing. I don't know.
I like it.
But yes, I'll go next. Braun Strowman, number 9, one-time Universal Champion. Even then, it's one time too many. He's just, again, another one not good. The Universal title was cursed anyway.
Yeah.
But the fact that he can call himself a former world champion is pretty gross. I know there's some fans of him, but sorry, I don't see
Not on
it.
this
He should have never
show.
won the belt. And I'm pretty sure he only won the belt because what do you call it? Roman backed out, like, and didn't wrestle or whatever, and he won it and
Wasn't
held
that
it
during
for-
like COVID or something, or right?
That was yeah. It was
after?
before. It was before the tribal chief thing happened.
Yeah.
So he should have never been a champion. It only happened because Roman backed out. But so he's definitely on my list. Easy. All right, Matt, you're up.
The Miz. This might be
How dare you.
controversial because I think a lot of people enjoyed his reign, but when I think back on it, it's just kind of meh to me. He was completely overshadowed in that WrestleMania main event when The Rock was the host. Like, he just didn't have that star power. He's mid-card for pretty much his whole career.
Bro,
I don't
he's
know,
the most
just-
must-see WWE champion in television history.
I
Can't
mean,
even say it.
credit to him. Credit to him for going from real world to WWE. He called his shot on the real world. Most respect for him.
I
He
agree,
really pulled off.
especially because he was
the career
using
he
the
wanted.
same name. That's what I'm the most impressed about. That he called himself the Miz on the Real World, and that is the name
Yeah.
he was able to use in WWE.
So I'm not even trying to disrespect him, but
But I will.
To me, he just doesn't. He doesn't. He's not world champion to me.
All right. Fair enough. It's probably one of the few ones on here I disagree, but I've always been a Miz fan. But yeah, I wouldn't.
That's because he's.
I wouldn't
That's
have-
because he's awesome.
Of course. Spoiler alert: he wouldn't be on my list for the rest of the way. But all right.
Yeah, he's not on my list either.
Danny, not Danny. Matt, you're up with your number 8.
This was a
Number
good
8.
one.
This is the Kane rule. This is the Kane rule because honestly, he was a great champion in his prime, but they decided to give him the belt in I think it was '95 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what year exactly. They took the belt off Brett, if I'm remember. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
That was that was when
And
his
he gave it
mom
to
threw
him
in
for,
the
like-
towel for him because Owen made his mom
Yeah,
throw in the
exactly.
towel.
When Owen made him, yes. And they gave him the belt for 2 weeks, and he was just a shell of himself, and it was just a terrible reign.
Mm.
So, overall, Bob Backlund, great champion that year. No, thank you.
I was gonna ask about that because that's honestly as a younger fan, but a fan that started after Backlund's time. That's the only title reign I know of Backlund. So when you put that on the list, I was like, oh, that's not a bad choice. But he had a good title reign before all this.
He did. It's the Kane rule.
Yeah.
We didn't see it.
Fair enough.
Hold on, really quick. I don't know if you saw or said this before. I might have tuned out, but Jay DeFalco said, "I want a segment with Juice and Shivani as unlikely roommates."
Ugh.
And then Bob Backlund once charged me $5 for an autograph at a WWE show in the late '90s when he was running for some government job. That is all.
Accurate. Yeah, no, that segment. I mean, it had to be a segment because as a series, it would not last. It wouldn't be recurring with me and Shivani. It'd be one and done. All right, my number 8, Jack Swagger. What were they doing? What were they thinking? What were they doing, man? One time world heavyweight champion. Only won it because of the Money in the Bank cash in. No. Should have never been champion. What a whiff.
Agreed.
I like Swagger. I like him. I don't not like him, but should not have been a champion. No way. Not a world champ.
I think it was too early for him, and I think if they had given it to him when he was with Zeb, maybe it would have been a better reign. But at that time, it was way too early. I have him higher on my list, so I'll just talk about him now. We'll skip him later. But I think it was way too early for him. he was still doing the stupid lisp thing, which like was never going to get over. So I don't know why you were trying to make that get like from the get go. It was just going to be a fail.
Wait, that wasn't a real lisp.
I was saying no. I was gonna point that out. He wasn't doing it like he had it.
The way he was exaggerating it though, like he was exaggerating it for the character more.
Suffering succotash. No, he was really lit. He had a lisp.
You know what I mean? He exaggerated that lisp at the beginning of his career because they asked him to.
I have no idea what you're
Ever
talking
since you
about.
mentioned it, ever since he's been on AEW, he's been perfectly. His speech is perfect.
Oh God! All right, Danny, number 8, you're up.
So we already talked about number 8 with Braun Strowman. Just a boring reign. It was really just a reign to get someone else the belt. They didn't like it. Speaking of someone else who got the belt after a boring reign, Goldberg hated it. I think they missed their opportunity when they didn't give it to him in 2003. After that, there was no reason to give it to him at any point, especially in 2020, 2021, whatever they gave him the belt. Awful reign, no reason for it. Just hated it. Or 2018, I forgot when they gave him the belt. But again, just the match sucked. Barely defended it. Just to lose it again to Brock, it was just very boring to me, which we knew it was going to be when it was happening.
Wait, but Goldberg won the belt in 03.
No, I'm talking. Oh, he did win the belt in 03. I was talking about the elimination. I'm thinking of Elimination Chamber when he should have won it.
I was just saying because you started by saying he never won it then.
Yeah, you're right. He did win it. And see, that's how bad that one was. I forgot that he won it back in 03. Even more reason. Should be higher on the list. I should put him higher. I made a mistake.
Yeah. Because in all honesty, as much as I hate Goldberg, I don't really agree with him being in the bottom 10. Like, I mean, because as much as I don't like him, his name has value and at least like respect on it for like what he's done prior enough. Where like if I look at his name on a list,
but that was prior. Like we're talking about like actual like bad champions. I don't think he had like good title reigns. I don't think he was like a great WWE champion.
Yeah, well, again, that's why I said like for me, my rule with my list was an eye test of like the talent with a lineage of a belt. And when I look at Goldberg, as much as I don't like him, he's at least a more valued, like I said, respected member of a talent to be on a list with champions than everybody else. But that's just my opinion.
Oh, you're not gonna like my next name then.
Yeah. No, I mean we'll get to that. Yeah, next up, my number 7, the Great Khali. Oof, I mean, yeah, just I've already made it clear. We all know he sucks. He's not good in the ring. I only have him this low, honestly, because for me at least, I don't know if you guys did this, but I personally weighted like WWE champions versus like people that were just world heavyweight or just universal, like not the WWE championship. I kind of put a lot more weight on that one. So personally, that's why Khali's as low as he is.
That makes sense. Okay, I was going to say, there's no way he should be this low. If you weighted it like that, though, I understand more. Once we said it was just those two, I weighted them evenly, so that's why he's much higher for me.
Yeah, no, and I completely get that. Just me personally, when I did it, I was waiting. Like, I don't put as much like prestige on the World Heavyweight Championship as I do the WWE Championship. One is gone, and one is kind of like the thread over history. So that's just how I did my list. But yeah, Khali, hands down, no brainer to put on here. Matt, you're up. We agreed on this one.
Damian Priest. Crappy gimmick, crappy wrestler, crappy champion. I don't know what else to say. I mean, you pretty much summed it up before.
Amen, brother.
There's nothing about him that I like.
Very fair.
Perfect. Then we pass him. What about Del Rio?
I completely agree with you.
Alberto Del Rio, you said?
Mm-hmm.
The Royal Rumble winner?
I know Juice loved him back in the day.
Back in the day. Very clear, important to say.
Is Damian Priest 38 or 55? Nobody knows.
He's older than you think.
He's basically a Dominican baseball player. Del Rio.
Yeah.
He was another one that, to me, he felt like he was forced down my throat. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Money in the Bank guy. The Money in the Bank guys, they get a knock from me too, because it's like they're the next chosen ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, screw that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's someone I
Yeah. No.
like, then I change my rule. Uh, but I don't know. And then you add on everything about Del Rio that came to light. It's just maybe I should have put him higher, just because he's an awful human being as well.
Mm.
But this felt good. You'll see why as we go along. Why
Yeah,
he's
no,
number 6.
that is fair. I have a feeling that's not the last we've heard of Del Rio on this list as we go on.
I also have that feeling.
All right. So, by the way, Danny, as we go on, are we going to go up one at a time, or are you just going to show the full top 5 once we're done here?
I'll go up one at a time if I can. We'll find out.
I was just curious. All right. Next up, my number 6. I did Mr. McMahon here. Now, I was tempted to go higher, but ultimately, I don't want to say I gave it a pass, but the fact that it was just one day did kind of weigh into it, kind of like the Kane thing, where I was like, all right, it sucked. It was bullshit. They did it, but then they did it again with the ECW title. But yeah, just because it was one time, one day, and so over and done with so quick, I didn't put it as high. But it's a disgrace that he even got the belt.
Totally agree. So. But again, like I said before, I kept all those short reigns off my list. Otherwise, him, Kane, a bunch of them would have been higher on the list for sure. I agree with you. My number 6, Ultimate Warrior. As a kid, yeah, like I get it. Like I was probably a fan, but as you get older and really see it, just wasn't a good champion, wasn't a good reign. They got the belt off him and put it right back on Hogan. And yeah, I just didn't think I think he's overhyped. So I just want to give him his due, I guess.
Way to speak ill about the dead.
That's all right.
Yeah, no, that's surprising. I mean, as someone that didn't watch, just from like the history of what I know and eye test, I never really. I know he wasn't really good in the ring, but I figured he was over enough back then that it was decent. But I mean,
and
hey, listen,
in his defense, the one defense I will give him, they didn't have a lot of good challengers for him afterward because they weren't like really throwing like. I think he might have faced Macho Man and maybe DiBiase, and that was really like the top of the guys. And then he held it on for like 9 months, but really didn't face like top quality talent a lot. So that was another thing that really I think hurt the reign for me.
Yeah. All right, fair. While you get the top 5 going, Jay says, "Imagine the internet wrestling community exploding if Tony Khan put the belt on himself for a night." Yeah, well, they lost their mind. They lost their mind enough when he even got in the ring and took a Meltzer driver. So not surprising.
All right, number 5s. So I'll go next. Jack Swagger. Sir. I completely agreed with you. I had him higher on the list just because I really thought there was that bad of a reign. And it was just one time. Again, I think if it was a little bit later on when they made him a little more believable and a little more serious, I think it would have been better, but just the one he got sucked.
Yeah. All right. Next up is me. I am putting Jeff Hardy on my list, and I don't know if that's considered controversial or hot. I know it's expected of me, but I don't know how strongly you guys or anybody watching will feel. By the way, if you are watching, thank you for joining us here on our 100th episode. And let us know in the comments who you think are amongst the worst WWE/world champions of all time. Let us know if you agree with how we're doing so far, or if we missed anybody. But yeah, Jeff Hardy, former one-time WWE champion, and I believe 1 or 2-time world heavyweight, either 2-time world heavyweight. So either way, it's too many times. So 3-time world champion.
Too many.
Sorry, no, he's over, but he's not good in the ring. He should never been a world champion. They did it just to give them like an HBK to a Jannetty in terms of WWE sense. But yeah, awful. He was always one of those wrestlers that was always about like the chase, but then once he had the belt, it's like, all right, now what? So awful.
Interesting. I just figure with you doing the eye test and stuff like that, he kind of hit it a little bit in terms of popularity, in terms of just like them trying to go in a different direction at the time.
Well, we're also now getting into the WWE champion portion of my list.
That's also
the bottom.
fair.
The bottom 4 kind of 5 were really not world WWE champions. So now these top 5 are like the WWE worst ones for
Gotcha.
me, at least. Okay, Matt, you're up. Number 5. Preach, brother. Let me hear it.
Jey Uso.
Your
What
favorite.
could be more mid than being in the mid of my list? Mr. Mid Card himself. Jey Uso.
We're all not even watching right now, and he's that confident at number 5.
That's
I love
great.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh
Love
yeah.
it.
I don't need to watch to know that a mid card guy should never have the top title. Or second top title, I guess, based on Juice's weighing factors.
That's fair.
But yeah, honestly, I don't know if it's good or bad. I just wanted to put him in the middle of my list because he's very mid card, and it just felt symbolic.
Felt
Not gonna hear argument from us. Number 4 is all our 4s are a bunch of repeats. We got the Great Khali, and both of you and me, Juice, put Alberto Del Rio at number 4. So Matt, let's start off with you. Anything new you want to add about the Great Khali?
He's big. That's about it. He can't move.
Cannot move.
He's boring.
Agree.
But he does have the Punjabi street fight match. What is that?
Punjabi prison match, and that's actually another strike against him, in my opinion. That was one of the worst matches ever constructed.
Yeah, just bad all around.
All right. Anything you want to add about Alberto Del Rio, Mr. Juice?
Yeah. This is gonna be a theme probably for the next few coming up here. But when I was doing research here, looking into how many times these people were what champions, Del Rio was a 4-time world champion.
That's a lot.
And 2 of those were the WWE title.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's crazy.
I talk again, like Matt said, pushing him down our throat, but 4-time world champion.
They were really trying to get him to be the new Mexican and Latino star for them, take over for Rey Mysterio, which is so funny because I feel like they've been trying to do that so much, and Rey Mysterio is still there and still doing it. Interesting. Yeah,
awesome.
and I agree. I think Del Rio is just. I mean, I never liked him, and that's what I always found interesting. I don't remember if you guys did or didn't when he first came in, but I knew a lot of people liked him. They thought he was a Spanish version of JBL or whatever. They thought he was very charismatic. They had the money thing, and I always thought he was just kind of very generic and boring. Just because I took away, I think, the Spanish accent that had a lot of people be like, oh, he's a little different. Once you take that away, he's very boring and generic, and he wasn't doing anything crazy, he wasn't doing anything nuts, so I never liked him. Alberto Del Rio reminds me of the villain from Disney Pixar's Coco.
But Danny, it was destiny.
Yeah, I know. One of the worst tags ever. All right, number 3's. We got. Go ahead.
Matt's got something.
The only good thing about Del Rio was his ring announcer.
There it is, Ricardo.
Yes.
Alberto
Ricardo was the best. I agree.
I liked him when he was in WWE. I enjoyed his shtick.
The worst.
I digress.
All right, moving on to number 3. I'm bringing a new guy into the fold. Matt mentioned a couple of picks ago that Bob Backlund's one-day reign was one of the worst ever, and that's because he handed it over to one of the worst WWF title reigns in history, Diesel. So boring. I still feel like I know Diesel's was good for a big man back in the day, but I feel like he was really overrated with his matches. It really depended who was in the ring with him. He couldn't make people better. He had to be put with someone who was good in order to have a good match. And since they didn't have a lot of good talent in 95 and 94 besides Shawn Michaels, he really just had a very boring reign. It was a bad reign. The WrestleMania 12 match was awful. The whole premise where Shawn Michaels won, but then his girl got stolen, that he technically won in the Royal Rumble, which is also weird that he won a valet along with the match. It was just the cherry on top of a terrible reign.
I didn't even think of Diesel, and that was actually a pretty good pick.
Thank you. I'm surprised because you put Backlund.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, this was before my time, but like if I look at Diesel or Kevin Nash, like I at least look at him as much as I don't think he's a great wrestler, I at least look at him with enough respect, kind of like Goldberg, where it's like I could see him being a world champion and it holds up. So
That's the whole thing. Like, I thought of Diesel, and I'm like, nah, he was good. But then when
yeah.
Danny's actually going through the his reign, I'm like, yeah, that reign actually did suck.
Well, was that his only reign in WWF?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
He
I
never
think
had
he
like
only
another.
had one reign.
But he won the belt in another company. He's like, whatever, it doesn't count.
Yeah, but we're talking about WWE. All right.
No, I know, but I'm saying having the WCW world title reigns coming in, kind of get like Goldberg gives him that like elevation coming in as a talent. But that was before WCW, so it doesn't. Whatever. All right, I have no dog in the fight. I wasn't watching then.
All
So
right,
I'll
well,
take
you
your word
love
for it.
Kevin Nash. We get it, bro. Like,
He loves
Jesus,
Goldberg. It
try
sounds
to,
like.
and go.
Super,
We'll try to get them on the podcast, man. Don't worry about it. Damn.
Super Shredder. Super.
Super
All right,
Shredder.
So my number 3 is Sheamus, and I have him high because Danny, you actually hit the nail on the head probably better than I was gonna with like his world title wins and like what they were for. But like 3-time WWE champion,
Yeah.
and then he won the world heavyweight title too. It's a 4-time world champion like Del Rio, but 3 of them were the WWE one. And I'm shocked under Triple H, like Sheamus isn't like a 15-time world champion by now. Because
I was gonna say
clearly
that.
they were like, little butt buddies doing what they were doing back in the day. Sheamus kissing his ass to get a push,
Hey.
and it paid off at first, but now he's just doing what he's doing. So yeah, I can't believe he was ever the champion. I think he sucks. I know everyone likes him. He's probably one of the more surprising names on my list, but I think he was a horrible world champion.
Not gonna hear an argument from me. And what was funny is I actually had him originally like at number 3. And then as I kept thinking of these names, I was like, no, that was the worst reign. That was the worst reign. And then I don't know, because technically Sheamus didn't have a good reign either. I don't know. They're all terrible. They're all so bad.
Again, I didn't really think of the reigns. I just thought of like I said, the eye test
The
of
credibility,
the talent
yeah.
with the belt. So.
Fair.
Matt, number 3.
Goldberg.
Anything to add, my friend?
Yeah, I do have some things to add.
Get it. Get me. Come at me. Let's go.
I was never a fan of Goldberg. I thought he sucked in WCW. I know everyone loved him, but I hated his shtick. I like my champions to be someone that could actually wrestle, not a guy that does 2 moves and has 25-second matches every single fucking time.
Amen.
It's irritating to watch him. And when I saw him versus Brock in, what was that, Survivor Series recently? By recently, I mean like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life. Cool. He's a big guy. People love that whole thing. Oh, I'm a gorilla. Cool. He can't wrestle, bro.
Nope.
He could probably kick my ass, but he can't wrestle.
Have you seen the
this isn't about
Goldberg
who can
Taker?
beat each other up. This is about who can wrestle.
Yeah. Have you seen the Goldberg Taker match in Saudi? Or did you not see that one?
Oh, when he drops Taker on his head? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not,
he's
Jada Falco. You be quiet.
Oh boy.
He's
It's Matt,
Goldberg. No, he's
Is he a big man?
What was it? Big man or what?
Or monster.
Or monster? Yeah, Goldberg's a monster, clearly.
Oh boy.
I'm glad you guys get it. Moving on to number 2, we got a tie between 2 of us.
Getting there.
And
Getting
then
there now.
Mid-Card Jey Uso makes another appearance. Mid-Card Jey Uso, I think one of 2 or 3 that are on all 3 of our list. So that's very impressive, Jey Uso. Good job for you.
I think I looked before. There are 4 names that are on all 3 lists.
There you go. Well, why don't you start off with Mid-Card Jey Uso since Jinder Mahal is new to the list?
Sure. So I'll just add, some may say this is recency bias, but I legit think that even with what we know now, I just don't think time is going to be kind to Jey Uso or this reign. I think it's only going to get worse for him. And I think more and more the legacy of it is really just going to be what it is now. Just like, why? Like, it set a tone for this whole year with him winning the Rumble and winning the belt and then losing it and doing absolutely nothing of note with it during the 2-month reign he had. So I I know it's only the world heavyweight. It kind of breaks my rule. Like, Matt broke his with his Kane rule. This is my Jey Uso rule. I think it's legit gonna be that bad for him with time. So yeah, he's up there for me.
And when they quickly give it back to the guy he beat, tells you,
Yeah,
"Oh shit, we made a mistake," right?
yeah. Like they couldn't even let him go into SummerSlam with it or
Yeah,
do a
they're like,
cash
"Oh,
in.
let's give this back to Walter as fast as
Lost
possible."
it, lost it clean on a Raw. But yeah, so I'm happy with him at my
Yeah,
number two.
and let's give it back to the guy who lost to you, just so he can put it up for grabs in a retirement match to make us think he's gonna like walk out with the. It's just so dumb.
Very bizarre.
All
But
right,
whatever. We'll get to that more
Jinder
on.
Mahal. Matt, why don't you
Mm.
start this one off? Why Jinder Mahal at number 2?
Honestly, I had to turn the TV off every time he was on the screen. I couldn't tell you one thing about his reign. He was so bad. I don't know why. No, like part of it is kind of what I said about Alberto Del Rio. They forced it down our throat. They knew
100%.
nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. There was no reason he wasn't even good enough. Like he didn't deserve
Yeah.
it either.
Nope.
They just it hurts my head thinking about. This felt like it was just Vince doing it just to piss you off. You know what I'm saying? Like there was
Yeah.
no merit to it. There was nothing for it.
No, 100% agree. I also think it says something that with a match where there's no stakes when they were doing the Survivor Series champion versus champion back then, that they had to take the belt off Jinder Mahal 3 days before Survivor Series, so they had a plausible like champion versus champion match at Survivor Series. It was just crazy.
Oof.
Yeah.
Not great.
So no, I hated everything about his reign. I 100% agree with you. The only reign that I thought was worse than Jinder's was his Punjabi prison partners, the Great Khali. And again,
Danny.
I know Juice is holding the championships in different regard, but like
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
fine.
think of a worse champion. I can't think of a worse pick. Like Matt said earlier, literally couldn't move. When the best thing about you is a supporting role in The Longest Yard, when that's the best thing you did in your entire WWE career, that's a
I'll
problem,
play.
and you should not be the
I'll
champion.
Well, I could think of a worse wrestler, and his name is Jinder Mahal.
No way, man. At least
Um,
Jinder could move.
No. Like
Physically, I mean, he could move.
when you again, like Great Khali, it was the world heavyweight title. Jinder Mahal won the WWE championship, held it for way longer, I'm pretty sure. It pissed off everyone. At least Great Khali, while he sucked in the ring, at least he gave you like a spectacle and like an attraction to fight and see.
Yeah, but
Jinder Mahal added nothing. I'm not defending Great Khali. I'm
No,
just
no, I
saying
know, I
Jinder
know.
Mahal is like that much worse. Where the fact that all three of us have him in our top two speaks a lot of volumes.
100%.
I think he's hands down the worst WWE champion of all time. There's the only person I could think of breaking that for me is somebody on the Raw roster I won't even name to put it into existence, but I'm pretty sure if you know me, you know who I'm talking about. Good old full timer, your favorite. But yeah, Jinder Mahal, absolutely the worst wrestler to ever be a WWE World Champion, in my opinion. Awful.
I'm just going to
Great
say, when
Khali's
that.
spectacle was to see how long could his knees endure. That man was literally standing still before they shatter. Yeah, he was not a great wrestler. If you
But-
want to say he was a better wrestler, sure, Jinder's a better wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm talking about champion. As a champion,
but what I'm
Jinder
saying
was
is,
worse.
how can and again, I don't know why I'm arguing like it's a debate, but now I'm just thinking about it. I don't.
He's hot.
The Great Khali has to be worse when you can't speak or physically move. At least, like
had a
Jinder was
manager.
terrible. Don't get me wrong. I hate Jinder just like everyone else. But Jinder could at least talk and run, or forget run, grapple and walk like on his own. The Great Khali, like it was scary to watch sometimes because like, and also let's keep in mind he really ruined, like not ruined, but he was plugged in the middle of like a really good SmackDown World Heavyweight title scene at the time. You had Batista, Taker, Ray, like you had a lot of top talent on SmackDown where that belt seemed more important than the WWE belt at certain times. And then here comes the Great Khali with his Punjabi prison match, and it's like, what are you doing? You're the worst. I hate you. But no, Jinder, just as bad too, though, also did a Punjabi prison match where the Great Khali came back and ruined that shit too. So they're both equally terrible. I agree.
Well, and just for the record, I did a quick look up. Khali was only champion for 2 months, just like Jey Uso.
2 months too long.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
And
all right, Matt, take us home.
I feel like we should have ended there.
Yeah, so Vince.
So Jinder actually was number one when I first made my list, and then I thought about it, and the ego, the audacity to put a belt on yourself was enough for me. I don't care. It was a day. It's just all ego driven. There's no reason. He did it because he's like, oh, it's my company. I want to be champion. Like that's all that was. And for that reason, I had to go with Mr. McMahon, number one.
And it didn't even help the storyline. So like 100% ego driven. Like you can't even say like, oh man, like they were trying to keep the belt away from you. You can wrestle and you're the owner. That's not fair. Blah blah. No one even cared.
Yeah, no, it's very respectable. I mean, I know, I'm not defending the 1 day thing. I'm just, for me and my ranking, that's why it was there. But I absolutely will not. Yeah, these are all the worst. If you take Great Khali, Mr. McMahon, Jinder, and even Jey Uso, put them all together, like that's a pretty solid top four or bottom four rather.
100%. And if I didn't self-impose that day rule, McMahon would have probably been number one. Just because that just never made sense. It was just awful. So yeah,
we all had our own little unofficial rules, but that's what makes the list exciting and fun. So
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our top 10 or bottom 10, however you want to see it, worst WWE / World Heavyweight Champions in WWE history. Starting again from 10 and working our way up. Thank you, Matt, for coming back for tonight. I hope you had fun. Thank you for discussing why we started this and the matches that really got us talking. For those of you that don't know that story real quick, were literally talking one day in a group chat about just like what kind of matches we'd want to show someone. And from there, the podcast idea came up and we just took off with it. So really interesting to kind of circle back to that. That was awesome.
Yeah, and a quick little shout out to our producer. Thank you for all your help over the years. We know you're the quiet one in the background, but we appreciate all your help every week getting all of our technical difficulties sorted. So thank you. And thank you, Accept the Wind. Thank you to Till 5 Wrestling and anybody that's watching. We appreciate all your support over the years. We look forward to seeing you this Thursday when we discuss the week that was with AEW and WWE. We have a big one with Night of Champions coming up, as well as Grand...
Night of Champions isn't going to happen, man. They're like held hostage.
It's happening. And we will discuss AEW Grand Slam. So that's on Thursday. Be sure to tune in. That one will be live at 7 o'clock because there is a collision at 8 o'clock on Thursday. So we'll be live at 7. It will be just Danny and myself. Sadly, Matt will not be joining us. And then tune in next week and we'll keep on going with episode 101 and beyond.
Oh, so, right. Any final party words, Matt?
I'm good.
Maybe next time I'll get to do the opening.
Oh, throwback.
Peace out, everybody.
Throwback.